Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of Full Steam Ahead. I'm your host, Zoe. Stebby's on the other side, Cantu, teaching, getting some plans together for school tomorrow. Of course, the kids go back to school on Monday, but he is dearly missed. We'll get him on the next podcast, hopefully. But hopefully, everybody had a great weekend. I know some Astro fans out there are a little salty and probably not really ecstatic of how the Astros ended up playing. But other than that, Stebby, I mean, how was your weekend, brother?
It was a good weekend. Glad that Angel is taking care of business because, it was a little tough series right here that we're going to recap. But as well, he has to take care of the next generations of kids that are going to be coming out. You never know. He'll probably be future president in his classroom one day or something.
Oh, yeah, you never know. The next Donald Trump, Barack Obama. I mean, George Bush. If you want to go George
But
Washington, we can go that route too.
pretty cool weekend. I mean, stayed in the gym, and then Saturday, I mean, a much needed boys' night over at As Those Dungeon. You know what I mean? Shout out
Oh,
Zoe for
dungeon.
hosting us. He was over there on the grill too, and we stayed hydrated and good little night. Y'all, I don't want to know what time we ended our night, but just know we had a good one.
I think everybody figured that out by not seeing none of our tweets from Sunday. So everybody had seen that how that planned out. I mean, then again, the Astros didn't even score any runs, so it
Yeah,
didn't really help in their favor either. But yeah, much well needed Saturday weekend, if you want to say too. UFC fight. That one was a interesting,
it's
interesting one.
alright.
Yeah, it
But
wasn't
like,
it
it
wasn't the
could have been better.
best. I think so. It could have honestly been better, but when you have one guy that's been ruling the whole match, I mean,
Yeah,
doesn't make it good. But I think that was a little bit more entertaining, but the Astros offense because that thing it was just bad. Sad trombone playing in the background because the Astros offense in this series and the title of this episode, Astros struggled during Hall of Fame weekend. HOF standing for Hall of Fame. Billy Wagner got his number retired, but yeah, I mean, the offense was just pitiful, I would say, in one word. They couldn't get nothing going. Runners in scoring position was atrocious as well. I mean, losing the first game, almost had a perfect game against them, 7-0. And then
against
like
somebody that was like their worst in the organization's pitching rotation as well.
0-6 with a 6 something ERA. Credit to him. You got to give him credit. Pitched a really good
Still a
game.
big leaguer.
Yeah. Pitched a good game. Family in attendance. Went out there, balled. Literally had a perfect game. Honestly, he they should have just called that an error instead of a hit.
Yeah,
But
they just gave it to him. Huh?
yeah, but I mean, credit to him. He pitched really good, kept the hitters off balance. He did really well. The Astros would win game 2, 5-4 in the next one, but then game 3, I mean, 12-0. 2 zeros on the board, and you had Chas McCormick pitching 2 games in this homestand, not to mention 3-3 in the homestand against the Red Sox and the Orioles. It didn't even feel like this was a win for the Astros this homestand at Duggan Park. I mean, 5-5 in their last 10 games, 69-55 is their record right now. They still lead in the American League West, and they still got a game in front of Seattle after Seattle had dropped the last series finale game to the New York Mets in Williamsport. But this series overall for the Astros was just not the best. Not the best, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, starting off on Friday, you go 1 for 28 as a team. Saturday you go 8 for 41, and then Sunday you go 6 for 32. I mean, what can you got to do better than that? You have a pretty good, talented lineup. This lineup should not be struggling. This lineup should be getting on base. This lineup should. I mean, I'm not caring about the long ball as much. I mean, Altuve's getting them out there. A couple guys are putting them out there here and there, but I mean, these guys just need to get out and go play baseball and just hit the ball. Quit trying to do too much. I mean, you see all these other teams, they just pretty much just plate the runner. I mean, there's a situation where who was it gave up 3 consecutive hits and loaded the bases. Was it Souza or Dubin? I think it was Dubin.
Given.
Dubin gave up 3 consecutive hits, and there weren't nothing crazy, just straight 3 singles. Like you can't complain about it when a team just knows how to plate the ball and get it in play. If the Astros can't do that, then it's going to be a tough situation, especially like with Jordan. Like Jordan, not just one man can fix this whole lineup. The lineup has to fix itself, and they have to play better.
Yeah, it doesn't help when like Jesus Sanchez right now is struggling mightily bad at the plate. He's like 0 for 17, 0 for 19 in his at bats. And this is a guy that Houston really hoped that he was going to be their left-handed power bat coming into this lineup, was going to do some damage. And credit he did in the beginning in the Red Sox series over there at Fenway, and then transferred it to Miami. But other than that, he's been just cold at the plate. I mean, like you said, Jordan Alvarez can't be the only guy when he comes back to the team. He's not going to fix this lineup straight up. I mean, he can make a difference, but
One guy's not gonna do it all.
it's you're passing the baton to the next guy. It's not for you to go up to the Bears box and just try to crush a home run every single at bat.
And then you get terrible news on this Sunday game to put the icing on the cake. Christian Javier exited the game early, and they called it an illness, but I think you should. I think you have the information of the his pitch velocity.
Yeah, the velocity was down. It was like two point something percent down on each pitch. Each pitch, if you go look at it on Baseball Savant, I mean, you can just see every pitch velocity was just dropped. So, I mean, real quick, let's just finish game one, game two. Um, Credit to the starting pitching in this series. I mean, of course, with Christian Javier with his illness, Framber Valdez pitched really good, and we had talked about in our last episode that with Framber, you need seven innings. You need seven. If you can get eight, if you can even nine, you can do that. Kind of rest the bullpen a little bit more, and he honestly did that. I mean, he went 6 2/3, 9 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. That's a quality start in the book, and he pitched really well. He kept Houston in it. Of course, if you're Framber Valdez too, you would like to go back at that one particular play by not backing up the catcher behind the plate on that throw from left field. And you can hear in his voice, I mean, he was visibly frustrated about that. Like he knew that that was on him, that he should have done better on that part. But like Steban said, I mean, when you're getting perfect on the whole time, one for what you say, 1 for 28, Steb?
Yeah, 1 for 28 this game.
Yeah.
Everybody was multiple 0 for 3s. 0
Yeah.
for
And
4.
Ramon Urias was literally the only one that got the hit. And honestly, in my opinion, that really should have not even been a hit. That could have been an easy out. But he rushed it, and that would be a single slash an error on the pitcher. But yeah, the game one just did not set the tone for this team. I mean, game two, the highlight of this series for overall thoughts is going to be besides starting pitch and Chase Alexander. I mean, he continues to pitch really good.
Alexander the Great.
Alexander the Great. That's what they call him. And he pitched really great, honestly. I mean, that's what Houston really needed to bounce back in the next game. 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. They're about 80 pitches. And that's what you needed. And he's been really lights out for Houston ever since he put an Astros uniform on. And he's done a phenomenal job stepping up. And we've talked about this. So this is when you need somebody to step up. And Brandon Walter was that guy. Of course, Brandon Walter got hurt. And now you got Jason here pitching lights out and honestly could make a big move considering how the rotation looks like when certain pitchers come back if he continues to pitch like this.
So Jason Alexander is an Astros 3-1, 2.63 ERA, 109 WHIP with a 2.03 average. And in his last 3 games, he has a 1.0 ERA, 0.61 WHIP, and 3 wins for Houston. I mean, when you have a guy like this that could just come up and somebody that was cut from a different organization, and you could scrap up somebody's, what you could say, trash, like they say, somebody's trash is somebody else's treasure, and you get into an organization like Houston, and you just say, hey, you know what? They let me go. I'm still here to prove you, and I'm trying to give your team a win or trying to keep you in this ball club. I mean, in this ball game, and that's what he did.
I mean, we've seen this with multiple pitchers that come through this organization. I mean, we can tell you the list, we can give you names, and we've seen it. They've done really well. And sure enough, for Jason, I mean, coming into a starting role, and usually this guy was a relief pitcher. He was a relief pitcher through his time in the majors, and as a starter with Houston, my gosh, he's pitching like a vintage Justin Verlander on the mound. It sounds insane me saying that, but shit, he's been pitching really well for them.
Something else pretty insane too. Jeremy Pena, 341 average as a leadoff hitter, best in Houston history.
Yeah, he's when he's not in the lineup, that hurts
Yeah, it kind
Houston
of
a
hurts, and
lot.
it sucks that he got illness. I wonder what happened with him. Probably got the
Well,
bubble guts.
the bubble gun, that's why he didn't get to go in the game.
Nah, who knows? I mean, something random.
Yeah, and there's Ant on the chat. Kevin, what's going on? Then Tony, is
Eh,
Jake Myers on the mend? We got a little update on Jake. I mean, I was there for Saturday's contest when Alexander was on the mound for the for Billy Wagner and the whole Astros Hall of Fame stuff. Joe Spot did give an update on Myers, so we'll get that here in just a second. Tony was saying 0 for 21, and Astros Twitter turning off Framber due to his recent comments, and yeah,
Yeah,
you can
well,
see it.
it doesn't help his case either by looking at like as an Astro fan, like fan base. If you look at his following, like that's not going to make an Astros fan happy either. I mean, it has a lot of Mets organization people, players, um, analysts, and stuff like that.
I mean, the guy's a competitor. We'll say that. And he really cares about
His game.
winning and yeah, and the game that he's pitching because he's trying to do everything he can to put this team back on in a win column. But stuff like that with the little mental mistake for him not being behind Diaz, you can see like
Yeah, that's the little things.
visible frustration. Yeah, the little things, but the frustration you can. It's almost like I don't like to compare it like this, but that's the only way I could think right now is when a kid has a tantrum and the way he is. Like if he doesn't get this particular out, or he sees that this guy hit in this spot and just hit the ball really well, and guy score, you can just see the frustration in his face. You can see the language too, the body language whenever he gets the ball and he'll slap his glove and it you can see the competitiveness, but at the same time too, it just doesn't look right.
Yeah, he needs to work on that because honestly, especially as going into free agency, if I'm interviewing this guy to come into my team, and then I feel like that could be key moments that you could pull up on video footage and be like, "Hey, well, we like you, but what's going to happen in this situation in the postseason, or what's going to happen in this? Like, we need you to be lights out. Are you going to get mad if so and so doesn't scoop the ball? If somebody doesn't block the pitch in the dirt, you know what I mean? You got to help yourself as well. You got to build a case for yourself." And whatever your energy you're giving off like that, you're just feeding negative energy towards the team because anybody else behind you is going to be like, oh, he's not giving a damn. Like, why should I give a damn? Or he's not putting as much effort. Why should I put in 100%? So there's little things like that that kind of, bring down your team in certain situations. In a game like that, I mean, it's baseball. You could come back from dang near almost any league. I mean, I'm not going to say like,
Well, just like the thing about the Brewers. I mean, they were losing 8-1
and then
against
they
the
put
Reds.
up 14 or something, 12, 14,
Could be. I know
something
they
like
came back and win for sure.
yeah, which is like that's what I mean. Like you just and it's the Brewers. I mean, they're already fire offense, but it's like there's it's like it's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we got another hope Framber doesn't land on the Mets. Lots more scrutiny there. Hey,
And that fan base is gonna be a lot worse for him too.
yeah, not even the fan base, just the media itself too. New York,
They're tough.
yeah, New York's a tough place to play in, and if he's up to the task and he's up for that, then by all means, then you might want to go be a New York Met or a New York Yankee. We'll have to see when it comes to the offseason.
One thing I wanted to bring up: 26 outs above average since 2024, fifth most in MLB, fewest attempts in top five. Yours one and only, Mauricio Dubon.
Gold Glove guy for a reason.
Yes,
That's why
sir.
they have him in multiple positions. Of course, Jeremy Pena couldn't play. What did Joe Espada decide to do? Put him at short. And if Correa needs a day off at third base and just have a day off in general, then Doobie just slides up to third base. So
And like Sunday, you get thrown at first.
yeah, and yeah, exactly. So you got another comment right here. He's the GOAT.
Shout
Doobie
out
the GOAT.
Chumpy. Shout out
Shout out
Chumpy.
Chumpy on that. Yeah. But real quick on game two, I mean, Carlos Correa RBI single, Jose Altuve with the solo shot, Ramon Urias with an RBI force out, Mauricio Dubon with an RBI single. Of course, Jacob Melton would Urias would get the winning run of that extra inning game, which by the way, too, and we had talked about it and how concerning is it for the Astros now that Josh Hader's on the IL, and you just saw it in game two, really, of this series because Houston had the lead. They're winning 3-0. Honestly, they should have been winning more than that because they had multiple opportunities with runners in scoring position, and it was just that's just the Astros for you. The runners in scoring position is always going to be like that. But going to the bullpen part of it, I mean, you give it to Brian King, did a really good job. Only did the inning, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. Uh, Things got a little bit tricky when Ben Souza got on the mound.
Souza struggled. Souza definitely struggled in his outings.
Yeah, Dylan Carlson sent a no doubter to the second deck, cutting the lead down. I mean, tying the game. Or actually, that was Jackson Holiday. Dylan Carlson was the one that hit a home run off of Jason Alex. And
yeah, no doubter.
yeah, and the Jackson Holiday would tie the game off of Dennis Souza, and that was in the 8th inning.
Dang, Sunday, Jordan Weems, 5 earned runs and 0.1 innings pitched off of 3 hits.
Yeah, and just going real quick on Saturday, Caleb Ward got an out. Brian Abreu, that's your closer really for this whole regular season, which we'll have the update on Josh, but did an inning, gave up 1 hit, 3 strikeouts. Steven O'Curr, an inning, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. And then Eniel De Los Santos pitched really good, gave 2 scoreless innings and a strikeout. So that was a huge win for the Astros in game 2. And like Stevie said, game 3, I mean, just wasn't the Astros. And you can hear, that's all it was. It was just crickets. I mean, the bats just were cold, I would say, in this whole series. But you saw how the score 12-0. Christian Javier had to leave the game due to an illness. Now you're throwing a bullpen game at this point. And the bullpen, like Stebby said, with Jordan Weems.
And one thing too, I want to say about this game that it could have been worse. Jesus Sanchez did good up and snap a grand slam and save the grand slam, which a run did come in, but it could have been worse than 12-0.
It could have been. You add seven more points. It runs onto that score, and it'd be 19-0 because he robbed a grand slam and he robbed.
He robbed another one, right? 2 of them. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I was correct. That's what I was about to fact check myself before I brought it up.
Yeah, I mean, great defense on his end. The bats have been cold, but hey, presented great defense.
Something Cam could take notes on too.
Yeah, definitely
get up there a little bit.
Yeah, so the offense just wasn't there. Dean Kramer pitched really good. Like I said, you got to give credit to these pitchers how they pitched against the Astros. I've forgotten homeboy's name in the first game, but his last name's Young, and
Brandon Young.
Brandon Young,
Texas native.
Yeah, Texas native, and he pitched like Cy Young against the Astros, like straight up.
Definitely, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy because, like we said, we even mentioned before, it's like, oh yeah, we get the worst guy on the first day, and then guess what? This guy's gonna pitch like the best guy. We predicted it, and it happens. It just always happens.
It's always like that for Houston. For some reason, there's always a pitcher that has a 5, 6, 7 ERA, and every time against the Astros, they put up scoreless innings of 6 innings, 7 strikeouts. It's you just do not know how to
banging up Craig Crochet to you can't even touch this guy.
What do you mean?
Like they go from banging up Crochet.
Oh yeah.
Series, someone that's really elite, and then you get a guy that's struggling for the Orioles and doing the worst for them, and he just blanks us.
Yeah, and you saw Anthony's comment. At least we had a streaker today.
Was it you?
That's true. Oh, I don't know. I'm me for sure.
No, I'm talking about was it Anthony?
Oh, was it Anthony? I don't know.
I mean, he was running all over the place last night. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Never know. We got highlights of that too. We need to show them. We didn't jinx nothing. We never jinx nothing on this show. Unless Debbie, did you jinx it?
No, sir.
We do not jinx nothing on this show. So, overall thoughts: offense got to get better. Got to be better with runners in scoring position. Pitchers can be going out there and doing their job, and the offense just can't have a goose egg every box score. Your first game, you got to take care of business. You got to take care of business against a team like this. You had a great chance of getting at least 2 more games because the Mets and the Mariners were playing. And I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, that the Mets did win that series against Seattle. Houston honestly should have took care of business. And I'm saying, not saying that they should have swept them, but that was a winnable series for Houston to beat Baltimore, gain more on the AL West, and it just did not go that way for the Astros.
But you got to think about it. The Orioles did heat up before coming into Houston with taking care of the hot Mariners. So they just really rode that wave from that series, and it showed in Houston, especially on Sunday, where that offense just went crazy and they had a home run derby against us, basically.
Yeah, literally a home run derby. And it wasn't even the train for the Astros playing. Bobby Dynamite wasn't even playing a horn. There was one home run in this series against the Orioles, and it was only Jose Altuve's.
His 22nd of the year.
Yes. So, I mean, on the positive note, we can go with Billy Wagner getting his number retired.
That was
Number
pretty
13.
cool.
Number 13 retired. A lot of emotion around the ballpark. From Hall of
I
Famer.
heard Biggio talking a funny story where he was like, one of the first times he met Billy, he was like, "Who's this guy? He don't throw that hard, blah blah." And then he hops in the batting cage where Billy's live pitching, and he's like, "Wait, hold on, let me go get my arm guard real quick, elbow guard." So he goes in there and gets it, and then he says his first pitch, Billy just drills him right on the elbow guard, and Biggio throws his back. He's like, "What the hell, Billy? What's that for?" He's like, "I'm sorry, I swear it wasn't intentional." But it's funny because like he points it out like, "Let me go get it," and then as a pitcher, it just happens sometimes where like little things like that, like you kind of get tracked of like, all right, like you're focused on that thing now instead of like the what's actually what you got to do. So
Yeah.
that was a funny situation though, because he pretty much spoke it into existence.
Yeah, because, I mean, he leads the majors in MLB history for most hit by pitches. So, Craig Biggio lives on with that. And Billy Wagner, like I said, a lot of emotion. Had Hall of Famers out there. You had family out there. Astro fans excited to see that number retire. You saw a lot of number 13 jerseys out there too. Somewhere
Oh,
at
the
the gift
OGs.
shop. They sold some at the gift shop, at the team store, and you just saw a lot of people rocking that jersey. The Houston, the '90s throwback, that one of the nicest uniforms I think the Astros had, with that goat star, Wagner in the back. I mean, it was very awesome to see. I was able to attend. I was in the press conference whenever he was speaking about just the Hall of Fame,
Mhm.
having this recognition for him, getting his number retired, having it with his former teammates with Biggio and Bagwell up there. It's awesome. I have the video, so we'll post on our YouTube channel either tomorrow or the next day, but for sure we'll get that video out because I think it's nice to see. He even talks about, like, if you're playing Division 3 baseball, or you're playing NAIA, JUCO, any that type, you never know what can happen because he was the first guy to ever in Division 3 baseball be in the Hall of Fame.
That's pretty cool. You
So
also, you should also let them know a little story about how he became a lefty.
yeah,
For
break,
those
break,
that don't know,
breaks his right arm and then started throwing with his left, and next thing you know, he's chunking 100 on the left side. How's that even damn possible?
I don't know that like. I mean, I could try to throw.
Insane.
I try to throw. I could throw a football lefty maybe like 15 yards.
Uh,
Accurate. But when I try to throw it with force, I'm just like, bro, how does somebody do the whole like switch pitch side? And like especially the dude from the Mariners,
so
Durango,
what's the name for it?
ambidextrous or something like that.
Ambidextrous. Yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I didn't want to chalk it, but yeah,
Yeah, it's something like that. But
yeah.
that's cool though. You can throw 100 from the left side and the right side. I think the Athletics have a kid like that, and
No,
he
it's the
throws.
Mariners.
No, the Athletics has a guy like that too in the
Bro.
outfield. He's a lefty, but when he's in the infield, he throws right-handed.
Oh, that's crazy.
I think his last name's Cortez, if I'm not mistaken. So,
They already moved up Leo. I seen today they moved him up to Double A, I believe.
oh, he'll be in the majors next year. If
Yeah,
not
yeah, most definitely. Maybe
earliest,
if they clinch a wild card, they'll probably put him on the roster.
nah, I don't think wild card, but earliest I would say when September call-ups,
Uh,
you get 2 additional roster spots. So, whenever that time comes, maybe he goes at that time. So, I think that'll be the earliest for him. But next year, I can see him already on the team. But yeah, like I said, we'll have that Billy Wagner video on our YouTube page. If you haven't done so already, and I forgot I already say this in the beginning show, like we always do, we're in the half part of it. We got all our social media platforms above my head with Twitter, TikTok, as well as Instagram, FSA Full Steam Ahead, and subscribe to that YouTube channel. Like I said, that's where I will post that video. We'll have some shorts, we'll have some reels. Um, talked to Bill Brown, talked to Larry Durker. I mean, we got some good footage of Hall of Fame weekend, so we'll put it out there. And then you don't look at YouTube. You just want to hear us on the road because I know Monday is going to be hectic. Kids go back to school. Traffic is going to be a bunch of BS. I already know
Hmm.
it. Hey, might as well put that on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get it. Hit that channel because we will be there talking about the Astros and their preview, of course, coming with the Tigers and other stuff that we'll be talking about.
Or if you're in the ride with your girlfriend arguing with you, and you ain't trying to hear all that. Is you know what I mean? Blasted with some full steam.
Either do that or just put the AirPods on for you, and she can listen to whatever the hell she wants to. So I have to do that. I have to do that.
One thing I do want to bring up was the bullpen recently.
Correct.
So before July 7th, 90 games, they had a 3.21 ERA, 30 saves, 9 blown saves. Um, walk to K ratio was 3.3. The whip was 116, and the opponent average was 223. Since July 7th, in 34 games, the ERA is spiked up to 4.99, 6 saves, 4 blown saves, 2.7 on the K walk ratio, a 1.33 whip, and the opponent average has raised up to 255.
And that's why I said, and I'm gonna
And
say it
then
again.
that is the difference of 34 games and 90 games. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a
Yeah.
pretty big spike for the difference in games.
And that's why I'm gonna keep on preaching. That's Houston
And it
usually
get dark.
they usually go get a bullpen arm, one or two at the trade deadline. And then this year, I mean, of course, the Astros are dealing with that injury bug offensively. That lineup before the trade deadline just did not look like a lineup. That looked like a Sugarland Space Cowboy or a Corpus Christi Hook lineup that you would roll out at Whataburger Field or Constellation Field. So you knew that was going to happen, but I think Houston could have got one arm. They could have gotten one more piece, and even the off season too. I mean, you could have gone and grabbed. I mean, you grabbed Okurt, but you could have got like David Robinson. He's been a veteran. He's been pitching for a good while. I think he would have been a good arm to put in that bullpen because if we talked about when you look at this bullpen, there's a shitload of left-handed relievers. The right-handed relievers, I mean, Santos they just picked up, or it's been with you so obviously for a while. Of course, you got Brian Abreu. They just DFA'd Hector Neris. They traded away Ryan Presley at the beginning of the season. So now you're fighting for your bullpen right now because you have no arms. Your closer is now out more than likely, which we're going to get here in just a sec for the rest of the regular season. And Brian McTaggart had a tweet and this from him and says Astros relievers posted a 11.31 ERA, and having that ERA that's coming from 24 and 2/3 of innings pitched with 31 earned runs allowed. It continues on. It says with 8 homers allowed during the 6 game homestand, their starters had a 3.06 ERA with 3 homers allowed. So that's what I'm saying. Credit to the starters. They did a phenomenal job this homestand. It's just the bullpen right now. You're trying to like just trying to find a way to scratch and survive each inning. Each inning, when a new arm comes into the mound at Daikin, you're if you're a Nationals fan, you're biting your nails because you do not know how this is going to play. It's going to be a good scoreless inning here, just 3 punchies, 2 punchies, or we're going to go the opposite direction, 1 punchy, 3 earned runs, 4 hits, don't even get out of the inning. That's what Astros fans right now are dealing with, and not even just the fans in general. I mean, the team. Joe Spada was all visibly frustrated in his posts. I think it was the posts either Friday or more than likely it was Friday post game, and he was visibly frustrated after the loss. So
Yeah,
it,
it's
it's
starting.
frustrating for everybody.
Yeah, it's starting to punch the Astros in the face now, especially with Hater going down, and it's just crazy because it's just one guy going down, trembles your whole bullpen, just like that. Because I mean, everything just changes the whole aspect of it, and you just some of these guys are just not really as elite at what many people probably thought they would have been or could be. They're just not living to their potential, and then it's just they're leaving stuff over the plate. They're just getting physically frustrated. It's a whole mess going on right now, and you just go hope the Astros could grasp and try to limit what they can to limit the damage because teams are getting hotter, season's getting later, playoffs is getting closer. you got to do, and you got to take care of what you got to take care of, and it's going to get ugly. But if you're going to have to put yourself on the line, if you really want to help your team succeed, this is what it takes. It takes ugly days. It takes deep battles that you got to dig through and pull out of. So it's going to be a long ride for them. They got to lock it in.
Yeah, and the Astros can do this for so long. I mean, we're already getting to September,
Yeah, and
and
they've
they've
been
done a
struggling.
really you're struggling right now in the second half, but they've
Yeah.
done this for a while and they've been afloat for a good while. And now you can see like they need guys. They need offensive help. They need the return of Jordan Alvarez. They need the help of Jake Myers being back. The starters, you need Luis Garcia, you need JP France, you need Lance McCullers Jr. They just recently got Spencer and Christian Javier back. So you're seeing like the holes on this team, and where they need most as of right now is their bullpen. You really can't even say, even though the offense was scoreless in 2 games against the Orioles, I wouldn't even say the offense right now. It's the bullpen. The bullpen right now is just visibly just there's holes everywhere. You can't continue throwing 3, 4 lefties every game. You just can't. And everybody's gonna need a break. Everybody's gonna need a rest day.
Yeah,
So
what you just hope is that with all our starters starting to come back, that these guys can at least get you 5, 6 innings because this bullpen is getting a little scary, and you don't want to lose games late. They'll suck losing games and giving up leads, and it gets ugly. And then
and,
sometimes you
and,
just can't to do enough offensively.
and let me ask you a question though. Like, do you feel confident with this team, at least with this bullpen specifically, is a postseason I would say World Series contender. Is it a World Series contender? Yes or no?
No, definitely not. They need some tweaks still, and it's just somebody got to go. And JP France, I feel like is going to be not something that's going to be crazy, but it'll get the job done once he comes back and could potentially be in the bullpen.
Yeah, because they're going to need one of those guys. Garcia, McCullers, him, France, like you were saying. One of them guys are going to have to go to the bullpen
Yeah,
because
and
this
it sucks because I
you
mean,
can't.
imagine you would have had Blanco too. If he didn't get injured, Blanco would have been your perfect guy to call for.
Yeah, and you can even say Wisniewski too because he's
Yeah,
came from the bullpen. So right now, Houston is just dealing with. And
drama.
give them credit though; they've done a really good job. They've been resilient throughout this whole season. I can't recall the last time the Astros had so many damn players on the IL. Like it's insane because it's like 17. Like how
And
the
then
hell is that
once
even
they come
happening?
back from it, then boom, here goes the next one. And then you're like, oh, we're about to get over this little thing. Boom, here goes the next one. It's like
Yeah,
right there.
like every something good
Every
happened
other
to
week,
them.
or every week, I feel like we're
Yeah,
reporting somebody else getting injured.
it's not even every week; it's every series. It's even
Yeah,
worse, or even every game.
yeah.
Dubin needs to go to Sugarland. Is from Philip Pedrosa. I mean, I feel like too with him. Yeah, I think there could have been some games that for Dubin just a little bit more rehab. There could have been a little bit. I think he only had maybe 1 or 2 rehab stints with Sugarland coming out of the bullpen. But ever since he came back to Houston, my gosh, he's been hit off really hard by
Yeah,
Boston
but
and Baltimore.
Dubin had the tendency last season as well, though, to kind of leaving stuff over the plate. Which
But there was some stuff.
his stuff could work,
It
but
does.
he just needs to, kind of, yeah. I wouldn't brush it off of looking back at him and tell him, hey, go get a little second little wave of your journey, and get yourself back together, because you could be really useful, and we rather you get your work in so you could get really good and then come back up when we need you, because I mean they need him, but they need him to lock in. Everybody needs to lock in, and their job is really really accounted for at this moment.
Yeah, Angel wanted to. He just gave us like some comments just to put on the show, and this is what he said about this series specifically. He's like, the Astros got shut out twice this series. They need Jordan back to get this offense rolling again. And I think when they do get Alvarez back, which we're gonna have his injury update here in the show, once they get him back, I think there's gonna be momentum. There's gonna be excitement. There's gonna be energy. There's gonna be everybody's gonna be thriving. I want to say, at least in my opinion,
Team will
because
definitely be a more energetic and happier with their big man, because just like a big old teddy bear. You know, he's just that big guy. He's just the big guy in the dugout, like that everybody wants to be around when he's there, when he's playing, because he can make such an impact. Just his presence, even if he's not having the best night, just him being in the lineup just helps the team feel what the team is. Because sometimes you've probably been in that situation where like maybe your boys back then couldn't make it to the game because something happened, and you just like, damn, like that's a little blow to the face. Like I feel like we could really use that guy right now, or like their presence being in the lineup is just kind of what makes the team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think once he gets back, I feel like this team could be different offensively, like talking about. But as of right now, they're just clawing away. They got to find ways. Jesus Sanchez, more than anybody, I think he needs to get going. Christian Walker had a frustrating series against Baltimore. Yonder, a little frustrating too. I mean, it was a rough series. This series against Baltimore was just not it. They're gonna
I
have to
think
play Detroit the next one.
I think they just need to hit the road, Jack. It might be their best thing. They might be just better off on the road, because we have been playing really well at home, but right now it might switch and it might be road time for them.
It might go back to reality because remember, every season Houston does really good on the road, and when they're at Minute Maid or Dyken Park, whichever building you want to call it, they've struggled. So real quick, let's talk about the Josh Hader news because that's what most people would like to hear. This from Brian McTaggart saying Josh Hader said it will take him 3 weeks to build up after not throwing for the next 3 weeks. So don't expect to see him in the regular season. Playoffs remain a possibility. That is good and bad. Good because there's a chance that he can be coming if the Astros do make the postseason. He could be pitching in the postseason. Bad, you're out of using him for the regular season. Not pitching this whole regular season. Brian DeBray's gonna have a whole workload of being in the closing role. Other bullpen pieces is gonna have to step up into that setup and that 7th spot. The bad is too the uncertainty. There you can have a great rehab, but when it comes to actually pitching, your velocity could be down. It could be down. You can still be hurt a little. So there's the postseason looks like a good chance for him, but at the same time, too, as Hader, you do not want to stretch it. You do not want to take a chance and take a risk. And next thing you know, it's even worse going into the offseason and potentially misses some time in the regular season in 26. So this is another tough blow. It's a bad blow. It's a good one though too, just for Houston might having him in the postseason. He's not officially out for the whole season, but it still sucks that you're not having your best closer, the all-star, for the regular season.
Something that like I personally take away from what Brian reported is Hader might be pretty injured, and he's obviously going to take the time off to get rest and everything. But with him saying that playoffs might be a possibility, which is showing basically like, hey, look, give me my rest. I'm still wounded, but come playoffs, I'm putting my body on the line. This is what you signed me for, and this is what I'm going to do. I might be fatigued still, but I could probably get by with it. And, off-season time, rehab again, or maybe go under the wire with whatever's wrong with his shoulder. I mean, it could be something that during the offseason could heal by itself, or coming back in the postseason, him coming on the line and trying to put all his full effort might make it worsening, and he might just have to undergo surgery or some type of in the offseason.
So that's what I'm saying. When it comes to the bullpens, of course, with your bullpens, you're not throwing 100%. You're looking at 30. You're looking at 40. You just continue to progress, and that's why I'm saying you do not want to push it at these bullpens, and next thing you know, something worse can happen for Josh. So it's just for Astro fans. It's visibly frustrating because they want this injury bug to be gone. They want this bug to go somewhere else and not be in Houston because
I mean, they had to live through the terrible bug of them not winning at home for that season that was
And
frustrating.
it's just frustrating just overall because there's not one season
They could just play ball
exactly
without drama.
without the whole batter's eye at Dyken Park or the injury bug that's plaguing this team right now. It's just if it's not a bug like that's going to injure you, it's an illness, and that's what happened with Christian Javier in this game. You thought he was going to be good, but then you saw the concerning of the velocity being down. You're like, oh shit, is he hurt? Like no, and luckily, as of right now, what we have the reports and all that, it's just an illness. Team doctors looked at him after the game too to examine him, so you're fingers
Man,
crossed if you're a
they
Nationals fan
probably
that
had
you're
a
just hoping it's illness.
they probably had a boys' night, and somebody probably got down on the grill, and Pena got sick, and maybe Javi got hit with it after or something. Who knows? I mean, it's just random cold, just with all these the flights they go through, travels, hotels. You never know, and then especially he's doing signatures for fans, just media people. Somebody just might have something lingering, and just wake up the next day with a stuffy nose, and then your head's pounding. What can you do?
Yeah, talk about this weather in Houston. So you're changing different. You're going like if you go to Seattle right now, it's not hot as hell like over here in Houston.
Mhm.
Two different temperatures. But just to talk about what we've been just saying, just the Astros dealing with this. They've been resilient. They've been relentless throughout this whole process and throughout this whole season, having guys go down with the injured bug. Jordan Alvarez, Jake Myers. I mean, we can go down with the list, but they're going to have to find a way to continue stepping up during this stretch of baseball, which we only have maybe under 6 weeks or at 6 weeks of baseball left because Seattle's not going nowhere. That
Yeah,
team, even though they lost this series to the Mets, which they're going to be playing competitive baseball in the next coming series for them. But if you're Houston, you have to find a way to take care of these teams. I'm not saying Baltimore is a sorry team, but you got to find a way to win these types of ball games. You got to find a way to take away Baltimore out. You got to find a way to beat Colorado, the Angels. You have to take care of business against this team so you can have more gaps. And what I mean by more gaps is like the 2 games, the 3 games, the 4 game leads over Seattle. At a time, you had 8 games in front of them. Now you have 1, and you have a healthy Seattle team too. Houston's not healthy right now.
that's what's crazy. The Astros just couldn't take advantage of that big gap that they had on the division. That just random games that they just trashed or just gave up on early, and now it's costing them because now you're dealing with these injuries more in the bullpen now, and then you got this sketchy little bullpen situation going on. And if the offense is not going to play 8 runs, then because for what it looks like, you're going to need to put 8 runs up, 5 runs, 6 runs
You're
every
gonna have
night.
to put, like, I agree with that, 4 or 5.
Yeah.
4 or 5 at least. At least this rotation's doing a really good job. Once the bullpen can finally get a little bit more consistent and set in stone, then maybe you don't have to score 4 or 5 runs. Houston's done a really good job this season. Credit to them with 1-run games.
Mm-hmm.
They've done a phenomenal job in that category, which they were not good in that category for the last 2 seasons. But Tony had call up Ryan Presley. There's there's a part of me that says yes, and then there's a part of me that says no. The Ryan Presley era is already over with Houston, and the reunion, it's always open. I'm pretty sure it's always open for the reunion, but I don't think Ryan Presley is going to be the guy to save the season. It's just like when they brought back Hector Neris. You really thought he was going to be the guy that saved the season for the
Yeah,
Astros for the bullpen? No. But at the same time, I do understand because I've said it. Houston does not have enough right-handed relievers, and you put Ryan Presley in that. I'm not saying he's going to go to his closing role, but you'll have a right-handed reliever that could come in some situations in a game. But this season, Presley too has been struggling mightily.
Yeah, I seen something about supposedly the Astros weren't even quite interested in looking back at Presley, and I believe nobody picked him up yet. So I mean, that's kind of showing something because last season Presley was somebody that a lot of people wanted and were looking after, and then after his little stint with the Cubs, they're like, oh well, maybe we'll kind of look at somebody else now, and then somebody else that kind of been in a slump as recent too for the Cubs is Kyle Tucker. Recently started kind of getting a little cold feet at the plate recently.
Yeah, they shoot Chicago. What I saw was they were booing. They were
Oh man.
booing Kyle Tucker.
But what do you expect? That's what you're gonna get out of the Cubs fan
They
base.
even you even had Kyle Tucker throw his helmet in the Toronto series.
Did you see that they had like that flyover that scared like the whole
Dude,
stadium
that
right
thing
there?
was loud. That
Yeah, I
shit
bet you, I
was
bet you, I bet you that probably would have made you crap yourself in person if you're not
loud.
expecting it and you had to go to the restroom or like you had to pee maybe a couple beers in. Oh man, that probably would have got you good.
Yeah, but to end it real quick before Steppy gets to the pitching preview, um, Houston still has a chance for that number one seed. It sounds crazy saying that because like I said, this homestand just didn't look like Astros baseball. Just really did not. Offense wasn't there. They got outscored by Boston. Of course, they got outscored by Baltimore in this series, and they found a way to go 500 even 3-3 this homestand. I think that you can maybe take away as a positive, but going on this road trip against Detroit, you have to find a way to get back in that win column because after Detroit, you got to go back to Baltimore. You have to find a way to win both them series. Detroit's going to be a tough one because obviously they're the Tigers. They're playing good baseball. Um, Stebby's about to give out the record and everything here in just a sec. If you could find a way to win that series, it'd be awesome for the Astros if they could find a way to sweep that series. But a win's a win, and if you can try to find a way to win that series, that's a good start for Houston before they head to Baltimore to play the Orioles again.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough series because you got Tigers, Orioles. You think you're gonna get a rest with the Rockies, and then you go back to the Angels, and then Yankees, and then after the Yankees you get Rangers. So then after that you get the Blue Jays.
So that's what I'm
So,
saying. Before that,
like these are
series,
teams that have been playing. These are teams that are already heating up too. So it's like
and that's why I wanted to make my point. Before the Yankee series, they need to win them series. I think it's a
most
must.
definitely have to
It is
win
a must.
every series.
It is a must for them to, like I said, if they can find a way to win that series against Detroit, that is a great start. If you don't win that series, just prevent from getting swept.
Yeah,
If you're the Astros in that part, but if you can find a way to get that series win against Detroit, that's a great step and a great start. But Baltimore, you have to take care of business. Colorado, you have to take care of it. Like I'm emphasizing have to so much because not saying the Rockies are a sorry team, but you should be Colorado. There shouldn't be no other way to say that. You have to be the Colorado Rockies. And after that, you're playing the Angels. Angels, they've been playing good baseball. They literally swept the Dodgers. And Dodgers are a good team. Bunch of all-stars over there. But that's what I'm saying. A must in each series before the Yankees, because with the Yankees, you don't know what you're going to get. The next series that you had said stem on with the Rangers, you don't know what you're going to get in that series either as well. And then after that, like you said, the Toronto Blue Jays, that's another number one team in the AL East. So before them series come, you have to emphasizing that shit again. You have to take care of business against these teams on the road.
Yeah, most definitely. But let's get it started right here with your pitching preview / team preview coming that the Astros will be traveling to, which is the Tigers' 73-53 record, first in the AL Central, tied for best record in the AL. So Tigers pitching preview on Monday at a 5:40 start time. You have Spencer Arrighetti versus Jack Flaherty. Arrighetti has a 1-3 record with a 6.38 ERA. He is coming off of his injury, so this is a bounce back start for sure for him. Versus Boston, he went 5 innings, 1 hit, 2 earned runs, 5 walks, and 3 Ks. Hasn't been pretty for Arrighetti since his return, but Astros need a good outing from him, which this is a perfect team that he could challenge himself with and try to do well. I mean, ballpark's pretty big there, so just as long as you're not letting nobody get pull heavy, I think you'll be all right here.
Yeah, for Eric Getty, you just got to go back from your last start. You did a really good job, but other than that, just switch that number. 5 walks, 3 strikeouts. I think for Eric Getty, like I said, the strikeout per 9 innings, he's always been good with that. If you
He's
get that
gonna get there.
strikeout rate up and you control your command and some of your off speed pitches, I think he'll be good. And I think he could keep that team, the Tigers, off balance. They got a bunch of great hitters over there. Javi, of course, chases a lot of stuff. You get him swinging and missing. But the guys like Riley Green, who's been playing good baseball, Zach McKinstry's been playing good baseball. Kerry Carpenter, who's been on a home run streak for some reason, he's been
And
playing.
best believe he's gonna see all lefties tomorrow in that lineup. Maybe one righty.
That's what I'm just saying in my right now to you. I mean, them are lefties right there.
Yeah.
So,
And then as well, if he could execute on his changeup, then he has a good possibility to have a really good outing with the off speed because his fastball is not the greatest. But if you're able to mix it around and kind of float that little changeup around there, you get a lot of chase and whiff rate. But on the opposite end of Eric Getty, he will be facing against Jack Flaherty with a 6-2 record, 4.76 ERA versus the Chicago White Sox. He did 4.1 innings pitched, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 walk, 6 Ks. He has a 5-pitch arsenal, which is not the best thing you want to hear when somebody has a lot of arsenal because, you're going to be guessing all day at the ballpark. So he throws fastball, knuckle curve, slider, changeup, and a sinker. His fastball velo has been down a bit, but Flaherty is a veteran who knows what he's doing and can get the job done.
yep, former Dodger World Series champion, pitched really good with them. 6-12 record. Then I mean, this is a good opportunity for Houston right here. This is a good start. Good start to go against Jack. Jack's a good pitcher. Of course, Houston has faced him last year with Detroit. So nothing new. I think they did really good against him too last year. So for Houston, you got to find a way to get this dub against Flaherty, and for Eric Getty, like I mentioned, you just have to have.
So Jack Flaherty has a record of 1-3 with an ERA of 3.64 and 36 strikeouts in 6 appearances versus the Astros in his career since 2019.
Yeah. And like I said, Houston's faced this guy a bunch of times. Flaherty's faced Houston a bunch of times. Gotta do your homework. That's pretty much it on that sound.
And then here we go on Tuesday. This is the one that you do not want to miss, whether you're listening to the radio or you got a bootleg stream it or whatever you got to do. This is going to be a really good matchup right here. Or you just got to get on FaceTime with your homie that got cable to tell them, hey, I'm trying to see the game. Put me up on the mound. But this is going to be one to watch, and this is going to be probably one of the better matchups this season for the Astros that I've seen pitching wise. You have Hunter Brown at a 5:40 start on Tuesday versus Tarek Skubal. Must see TV. Hunter Brown is 10-5 with a 2.45 ERA versus Boston. He showed up and shoved 6.2. Well, not really shoved, but you kind of want to limit the hits, but he did eat up the innings that you needed him to go out in 6.2, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 4 Ks. Want to go down on the walks right here, especially on this Tigers team that, like the Orioles did today, just kind of put the ball in play. The Tigers are similar. They're not going to be leaving the park much, but they will be spraying the ball all over the place. A much better month of August for Hunter, a 5.54 ERA in July, and as of August, ERA is a 1.89. As for Tarek Skubal, he's 11-3 with a 2.42 ERA versus Minnesota. 7 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 Ks. Very similar to Hunter's last outing. And Skubal has changeup, fastball, sinker, slider. Opponent's batting average on fastball is .191, on changeup .167, and 100 pitching run value.
Yeah, this is a must-see TV start. I'm pretty sure MLB Network probably would headline this game on their network. But Hunter Brown and Tarek Skubal, 2 Cy Young guys. Who wants it more? And that's why I think Hunter Brown.
This is going to be really fun because not alone besides the baseball game that they're going to be playing, they're going to be playing a game against each other mentally, or maybe even like you might see stuff on the mound be messed around. You might see Skubal maybe dig into the dirt a little bit to kind of mess with Hunter. Just they're going to be in each other's head, and this is going to be a duel you want to see.
And that's why I'm looking for Hunter Brown to go out there and pitch a gem because he know he's going against on the other side a Cy Young who won it last year and potentially he could win it this year. Looking at his stats, man, 11-3 to 2.42 ERA. I think his the last start and the previous start, I want to say before that too, he hasn't been the same. Scuba. 11-3 with a 2.42 ERA. Look at that. 10-5 record for Hunter Brown, 2.45 ERA. That almost puts Hunter Brown too back
Yeah,
in
right there.
right in the Cy Young talks
And
again.
yet, this is definitely one that he would like to be on the better end because it's going to help his case. Like, hey, how did you do against Tarek? Oh, well, when they matched up against each other, Hunter had a better outing. Hunter won the game, or vice versa. And those are little things whenever it comes down to voting, where they kind of want to be like, all right, what they do against this team, what did they do here, or what did they do against each other?
Yeah, this is gonna be a little motivation, I think, for Hunter Brown, and I think that's what you really need, and you would want for him
Going
because
back to
it's a
Detroit,
challenge. It's a challenge, and you want to accept that challenge. Knowing him, he likes to take on challenges. So
and it's his home ballpark.
exactly, and my next point was going to come up to that. He pitches well against Detroit in his career. Has a 3.0 record, 2.93 ERA, and 36 strikeouts against the Tigers. Last year, he only allowed 1 run in 13 innings against them. So like I said, you mentioned too, he pitches really well at that ballpark as well. I'm looking at his stats. Gave up 2 earned runs in one start over there, gave up 1 earned run in another start over there, and gave up 2 earned runs in one start at Comerica Park. So I think knowing him too, family is from Detroit. You want to go out there and kind of
Show
shove
out.
and show out for your family, show out for your friends, show out your college. I think Wright State.
Yeah, he's gonna have a lot of people there. I wouldn't be surprised if Julia says during the game, well, Hunter had about 30 people out here for him or something.
No, but this is the challenge that you want as a pitcher. You're going against another pitcher that's won the Cy Young last year. You want to, and you're like I said, this could be potentially on MLB Network. I don't know if it is. It might be on Fox too because it's on Tuesday.
It
No,
should be.
Fox won't
It
have
should
it.
be.
It'd be TBS if anything. So, your Hunter Brown is the start that you circled
Yeah,
and you are
on the
looking.
calendar since the
Yeah,
beginning of the season.
exactly. So you're a Nationals fan. You feel very optimistic about the start.
And then let alone probably gets to sleep maybe a night at mom's.
Hey, some home cooked food,
Yeah.
some home cooked meals from the parents.
Yeah, I mean, if he shoves this game, you know why? Mama took them in and Mama fed them well. But anyways, let's go to game 3. Framber Valdez versus Charlie Morton. And if you this lineup right here that the Astros are running out last season, this was similar. It's kind of what they would call a 3-headed dragon. You know, Eric Getty, Hunter, and Framber right here. So hopefully we get a little glimpse of what they did last year's damage whenever we're out against teams. So this is a 12-10 start on Wednesday. Framber versus Uncle Charlie. Valdez is 11-6 with a 3.01 ERA. Versus Baltimore, he went 6.2 innings pitched, 9 hits, 3 earned ones, 1 walk, 6 Ks. Kind of want to limit the hits a little bit, and the runs will not be there, obviously, if you don't let nobody get on as much. One walk is very good work for him. He had a quality start, but Astros failed to give him run support. As of Charlie Morton, he's an 8-10 record with a 5.20 ERA versus Minnesota. 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 Ks. He's a 41-year-old man, so he's
41
OG. He's OG status to those young ones out there. That's what they be saying. OG status.
OG. Oh, I thought that was Unc.
Nah,
That's OG now.
that's past Unk right there. That's
Oh,
OG.
shoot.
I think Unk 30.
I mean, we're getting there. We're getting
Yeah,
to that.
Unk 30. OG's like right there where he's at. But at 41-year-old, he has curveball, fastball sitting at 94.2 mile per hour, a sinker, changeup, and cutter. Another 5-pitch arsenal guy. So Astros, be ready. It ain't gonna get any easier. He is an 18-year vet, and he's gonna look to do good against a team that he's been with before, familiar with.
Imagine being 41 and throwing almost 95. That's
That's
insane.
crazy. Yeah.
Insane. My arm would fall. can't even reach that. And I'm
Just gotta give a good old shout out to Satchel Paige, one of the best to ever do it.
oh shoot.
Dude,
But
I want to know what his like age with his last game he pitched, because there's like
has to
some
be in his
cra-
50s or 60s.
there was some crazy stuff saying some that like crazy numbers, 70s and stuff.
No, but Charlie Morton, I mean, he knows Houston. And of course, he's one of the guys from that 2017 World Series team, and the only one that's still there as a hitter. Well, now is Correa's back with Houston, but it was only Altuve. But now you have Altuve and Correa.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, Charlie's always pitched really good against the Astros. His Braves tenure, of course, in 21, and then with the Rays too, he pitched really good against Houston. So, I mean, for his age and the second half of this season, Morton's been pitching really well. So for Houston and for Framber specifically too, in this start for him, you got to get back on track. I mean, you pitched really well against Baltimore, and even I think no, not the previous game before that, but Baltimore he did pitch really well. The run support is really needed in this start for him because it's been 3-4 straight games now with the Astros L when he pitches. Not really good if you're Framber Valdez looking at that, you're like, man, we had double digit wins and now we're in 5 straight losses or 4 straight losses when I'm on the mound. That's not what Framber would like. But for the Astros, the offense has to get going in this series. Even though it didn't look good in Baltimore, you got to find a way, like Stephon said, maybe in the road they're a little different.
Yeah, Detroit's gonna hit the ball a lot. So Astros, you don't want to get out hit again. You definitely don't want to let down your pitchers again, because all three of these guys could go 5+, 6 solid. Then you best believe you need to give them some run support while they're in the game.
Yeah, more than likely, you would like to, in that first game against Jack, try to get him out of that game and get to that bullpen, because the second game, I feel very confident that Tariq Skubal is going to go 6 or 7 or even 8. He's that of a workhorse. He's just like Gerald Crochet. They're going to go out there and they're going to go 6, they're going to go 7, they're going to go 8. And that's what you want from your ace. And especially against a matchup like that with Hunter Brown on the other side, that's going to be a pitcher's duel. That game right there could potentially be a 1-0 ball game. So
For sure. I'm trying to figure out the Detroit Tigers batting average as a team.
when you got guys, like I said, Kerry Carpenter, Riley Green, Javi Baez, Winter Perez, Spencer Torkelson. I mean, they got a really good squad, and these are names that you really don't like pop out as superstars. Riley Green, actually, to me, I feel like he is a very under the radar, underappreciated.
So they have I believe a 249 average with 317 on base percentage and 419 slugging.
They're gonna find ways. That's how that team is, and that's why they're tied for the best record in baseball.
Yeah, they're just one of those gritty little teams that when you hear Detroit Tigers, you literally don't hear nobody.
That's what I'm saying. You don't hear.
You just hear Scooble.
Yeah. No,
And
that's absolutely true.
When they show up, you just like got guys like Dylan Dillinger coming out of nowhere. Just his names that baseball people should know, but your average baseball watcher not gonna know. They're gonna be like, "Who the heck's this guy?" You know what I mean?
That's my point. Like with the Yankees, when you think of the Yankees, Aaron Judge, Seattle Mariners, Julio Rodriguez, Cal Raleigh, Toronto Blue Jays, Vladimir Guerrero,
Springer,
George Springer. And then when it comes to the Detroit Tigers, Tariq Skubal.
the Guardians, you only hear J-Rap.
Yeah, Jose Ramirez. Think of the Royals, Bobby Wood Jr. Them are superstar names. That offense that Detroit has, that team basically passes the baton to the next person. And that's why they're so successful and where they're at right now is because of the way that their approach at the plate. I'll say this: the second half of the season, it wasn't too pretty for them. They're like 1-9, and some of them 1-9 and won their 10-game stretches, and they weren't playing great baseball at the time. So, see if you can do that in this against Tariq Skubal, Charlie Morton, Jack Flaherty, and them are all veteran pitchers.
So if they can win these series right here, man.
Yep.
It's gonna be a tough stretch of baseball, especially with this bullpen. So let's get on and get going because we're already at the hour and 5 mark. And I know it's already late. We had a late start for y'all. Sorry about that.
You forgot to say it's midnight. It's already Monday,
It's,
August
yeah,
18th.
it's already Monday. So everybody got to get to work and everything, and everybody got to get their sleep. So let's cap it off real quick with the Astros injury updates. Yordan Alvarez for Brian McTaggart. Yordan Alvarez will begin a minor league rehab assignment Tuesday at Corpus Christi. Right-hand pitcher Lance McCullers, right finger blister, 80 pitches, 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 5 Ks, produced 13 whiffs, and could be back in the rotation soon.
That is a big thing for Jordan being in a minor league rehab. That Tuesday game, I mean, Astros fans are going to be all eyes are going to be on Tariq Skubal and Hunter Brown that game, but they're going to be glued to their phones after the game to see how Jordan Alvarez is, because I think for me, I think it's just a recovery for him.
Yeah. Just a swing, just to see pitching, live pitching.
Yeah, I mean, he took 8 swings. It was 8 swings or 8 at bats in West Palm on Saturday. That was the report from Joe. Don't get all the 100% on that because I gotta look at it again to see, but this is big because like we're talking about earlier in the show, if they could get this guy back in their lineup, I'm not gonna say he's gonna fix the whole season up, but I think approaches at the plate, I think the offense is gonna get going. I really believe that because once you put him in the lineup, I mean, it changes everything. It honestly does. I'm not saying that he's going to save the season, but I believe the offense could look a little bit more better.
And they'll be playing up against the Frisco Rough Riders. So I believe that is the Rangers
that's
Double A affiliate team. So Jordan will be facing against the Rangers. So you just right here in this situation, you could just hope that he feels good at the plate. His back doesn't feel bad from swinging, and his hand doesn't feel bad from the injury. You just hope that he feels good and not try to kill the ball. Just maybe try to poke the bat out there and just get the swing down. You don't want to try to do too much. You just trying to do whatever is going to get you back to the big league roster, and then that's when eventually you want to kind of ramp it up a little bit more. But most definitely, at least he has to go 70% in this matchup.
Yeah, there's more of a. I believe he probably won't be back with Houston until the Astros return back to Duncan Park.
Yeah, that's the best bet. I mean, don't rush him.
And there's no need. There's no urgency to rush him right now. I mean,
because him coming back is not going to stop what this bullpen is bleeding right now. So,
yeah, I mean, I agree with you on that. So, more than likely, it would be that Rocky series coming back when they return to Houston. But having the big man back in that lineup will help the Astros offense. I think everybody will kind of get going because once you put him in there, you're looking at him in maybe the 3 or 4 spot, or you can even put him in the 5 spot if you want to. Mm-hmm. That helps Christian Walker. That helps Yainer Diaz. Hey, you never know. That could possibly help Jesus Sanchez too, who's going through a slump right now. So, like I said, this team really needs this guy back. I'm not saying he's going to save the season, but it can actually help this offense get going again.
Do you think once he's back, do you think the Astros will send Trammell AAA something? Or you think Melton stays?
It could be
Melton. I feel like Melton has a better case for us. Like I feel like there's more potential from Melton over Trammell versus because I mean they both could field pretty well, but I still would take Melton just because he has showed, I believe, was it last time we said 30.1 sprint speed before, and he has really good. Like he's not afraid to lay out for balls, and the arm is a little bit stronger. So I mean, in that case, I think I would lean on Melton, but it's up to the Astros organization, not ours.
I'm gonna put a take on this one right now. There's a possibility that, and this is my opinion, that Chas McCormick could possibly either go to AAA or be DFA'd.
Yeah,
I don't want to say that, and it sucks to say that, but Melton's been. I think Melton's more of a contributor than Chaz at this moment. Like, I
yeah.
honestly think so.
Yeah, I think you're better off sending Chaz to Triple Day.
Tramel's been playing good baseball too. I mean, even though
Yeah,
his
so he's
offense,
playing better than what we have, basically.
yeah, like basically the offense right now isn't there, but he puts up good at bats, plays tremendous defense too.
Mhm.
A guy that plays center field, and you got Jacob Melton, like you said too. He plays center field as well. So right
And
now,
today the Astros actually wrote out an all lefty lineup too. It's Tramel left, Milton center, assist Sanchez and right.
yeah. So and you got Jesus Sanchez too, not to mention. So that's what I'm saying. I think there's a possibility Chas McCormick could potentially be DFA'd, or if there's a way Houston can send him a triple A. That's how I see it, at least.
Well, if he goes, I really don't know who possibly pick him up.
There'll be a team out there.
I mean, it'd be nice if the Phillies pick him up if he does get let go.
I don't know. The Rays been picking up all the Astros that have been DFA'd.
The scraps. Okay.
Yeah, and
Well,
they recently got
what can they lose?
They recently got Cooper Hummel.
Oh yeah.
Tampa Bay, and obviously I don't know if you saw too. Forrest Whitley over there in Tampa starting. He has like through 6 games. He has a 1-something.
I mean, that is his home. He probably just feels
That's
better
true.
pitching out there. Just the whole environment, the weather, humidity, just the whole being at home aspect.
Kevin Chaz needs to stay. He's a key role in the bullpen.
At this point, Crab, we'll take it. They're gonna send him back to AAA to develop as a relief pitcher.
And hey, you see outfielders doing that right now. Tyler Naquin, for example.
Outfielder? I mean, Kike does really well too at pitching, though. Oh, but no, who I did see that was on one of those little runs. I'm not sure how it went for him, but it was Joey Gallo. I believe he was hitting up to 90s.
Oh, and stuff. Yeah, that him too. So yeah, potentially there could be a future in. But then again, Kevin, if you put Chaz in the bullpen, we got 5 lefties.
I know it's gonna be a battle.
Would have 5 lefties. No,
Kev, bad take.
That ain't it. But that is the end. Thank God it's not an hour 30 this time. It's an hour and 12. But by the time I finish this, it'll probably be an hour 15. You see above my head, social media. Of course, we are on X, Twitter, Full Steam Ahead, as well on TikTok, Full Steam Ahead, FSA Full Steam Ahead on Instagram, and of course, subscribe to that YouTube channel. Like I said, I'm gonna be posting some shorts and some reels from Hall of Fame weekend. We have the interview with Billy Wagner from his press conference, and we'll put out that video, like I said, either Monday or Tuesday. Just make sure, like I said, you guys subscribe to that channel, hit that notification bell, so then you will not miss that interview. It was very, very humbling. Listen to Billy Wagner talk about the Hall of Fame and his road to the Hall as well. And of course, like we had mentioned, if you do not want to see our faces, you can hear our beautiful voices on your ride to work tomorrow, because I know traffic is going to be hell. 45, 59. We know. We just know. We are on Spotify. We are on Apple Podcasts. Wherever you get your podcast, we are there. Like, rate, hit that subscribe button as well on there, so you do not miss any of the audio clips from this show. Stebby, final thoughts before we sign off.
Appreciate you, everybody rocking out. It looks like we had a little bit more different faces contributing tonight in the comment section. Shout out every single one of y'all for being here. The late night squad, the late night gang,
the night owls.
The night owls, But for those of y'all that are going to be hearing this early in the morning or possibly later on this week, welcome in and thank you for being here with us. Hope you have a blessed week coming up. Stay safe. That's all I got, Zoe. It was a good episode. And what can we do? I mean, can't really do what you could do whenever Astros don't perform as well, So I mean, whatever we do, we try to provide the best information and make the best out of the situation. So shout out all these late night gooners.
Late night gooners. That might be the new name for the night owls that are out tonight. So
the gooners, the full steam goons,
the full steam goons. Oh shoot! I ain't gonna lie, that's funny as hell. That's a good one though. That's a good one. But yeah, hopefully you have a great start to your work week. Of course, this podcast episode wasn't the most jolliest for Astros fans because of what the series was against Baltimore, but you are hoping against the Detroit Tigers, they could get something done and potentially get that series win to carry that momentum into Baltimore at Camden Yards. But other than that, I got nothing else. Just stay safe. Have a good start to your work week. And we will give you the recap of that series of Detroit and get you ready for that preview against the Baltimore Orioles. And more than likely, we'll probably record Wednesday night because it is a 4-game series against the O's for Thursday to Sunday. So till then, y'all stay safe. You have a good week, and we'll talk to y'all soon.
Stay blessed.